I'm Coulter Wonkai. I'm already into the 420, damn it.
Legacy 420 has medicinal and recreational products down to a science, literally. With 2 biochemists on staff and a chief scientific advisor, every product is tested in the Legacy 420 laboratory. Legacy 420, Tyendinaga. Open 9 to 9 every day. Visit legacy420.com.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
You know I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. Miseducation and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are live, and we are here at 420radio.ca. I'm your host, Al Graham. Tonight, my joint host, Northern Ontario, Kim Cooper, has invited a guest who loves to help people to get them out and socialize and help them, get around town. But first, before we find out more, time for Kim and I to have a bit of a chat. Well, Kim, how are you today?
Oh, I'm up and mobile, and that's better than a lot of the days that I've had lately. So pretty good, Al.
I guess you weren't out shoveling that fresh clump of snow you got out there.
No, I'll leave that to more able-bodied people like my hubby. Yeah, we got dumped on here in the north. I know Southern Ontario, you guys got ice storms and all this kind of stuff going on. Weather's been crazy. And, things in the cannabis community are almost as crazy.
They sure are. We got a couple of articles we want to touch on before we bring our guests in. And right off the bat, we see that Health Canada recalls a mislabeled cannabis oil sold in New Brunswick.
Again, mislabeling. Bonify is the company that sold this product. And no?
No.
I'm on the wrong one. Wrong one. My bad. Oh, my bad. The recall was the cannabis oil in New Brunswick. Okay, yeah, well, that's our second story. This one was from CanTrust.
Right, this is CanTrust, and it's under the brand name Liv, Liiv. Liv?
Yeah.
Live? Yeah, okay. And what's happened is the box is labeled different than what the container is.
Yeah, they labeled it as a CBD oil, and it's in fact a THC preparation. This is a massive, massive mistake. A lot of people don't want to use high concentrations of THC and are looking for CBD medication only. So somebody that wasn't expecting a euphoric effect may indeed have gotten one.
Yeah. Well, they discovered the problem on January the 17th, so that was 3 weeks ago. And they said they investigated in all 20 stores. They found them, removed them, and they found 50 units, they said. Yeah.
So some got sold.
714 bottles were sold in total. So
Yeah, so people are walking around out there thinking that they're only ingesting CBD oils, and they are, in fact, ingesting THC. So, I mean, this could have some repercussions for sure.
Yeah, like you say, for a person who's not expecting it can give them a bad experience and maybe turn them away from, cannabinoid therapy by getting something that's not what they thought it was.
Yep, absolutely. People are using CBD preparations for pain control and that kind of thing, at their workplaces and that kind of thing, so, where they can't have the euphoric effects. They cannot be stoned, so to speak. And especially a novice consumer that isn't aware or used to the effects, that happens on a job site. I mean, that could be very bad.
That's right. Exactly. And the thing is, too, you know what the recommendation is? They say to throw out the box.
Throw out the box.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Throw out the box.
Throw it out.
Right.
It's okay. You know, you're
okay,
good.
Kim. Let's move on to our next story.
Yeah, sounds good. The one that I almost talked about in the wrong order here. Bonafide is also in the news.
That's right, because Health Canada pulls Bonafide's licenses for selling illegal weed. That's what the headline says at the Leaf Cannabis News.
Yeah, this is the company that was investigated for not complying with good production practices as required under the Cannabis Act. Basically, they were out of product. They went to the so-called gray market or the illicit market or illegal market, whatever term you want to use, and they got a supply of cannabis, and they infused their company with this market supply to pass on to consumers, and they got caught.
That's right, they got caught. So the license suspension, just both of them, was I'm just trying to see how long it's going to take. How long are they going to be suspended? Are they looking at having to review everything? Are they going to lose their license completely?
I don't know. It's after March the 31st is when the management contract with Bonafide is due to expire. So I guess they're looking at pushing that a little bit quicker because they need to get the management service out of there and get the team in.
That's the consultant, right? George Robinson.
So they need a whole new team to get in there, but because of the contract and all of that, even though this happened under their watch, they're under contract. So they're trying to get a whole new management team in there, and then the Health Canada will have to come back in and take another look.
Yeah. Well, Bonafide has 10 days to respond to this, explaining why the suspension is unfounded or provide information that Health Canada should take into consideration in its decision-making.
I don't think they've got a leg to stand on, but I'm sure the lawyers will come up with something.
Yeah. Well, the consultant thinks that Bonafide will get their license back, but I guess it's just a matter of time. See what happens. Yeah.
They have to change everything at the top, whole new management team, whole new production staff. Everything's going to have to change, and then they have to reapply.
Yeah. So it's under suspension.
Yep.
Under
so
suspension.
The company bites the dust. I've heard other people talking about this, and what the consensus is from most people is everybody's doing it. They were just not the ones that got
caught. And regular folks are suffering, being charged, and it shouldn't be above the law. All righty, Kim. Well, we think time to bring in a guest.
Yeah, sounds good to me. We got an interesting guest with interesting enterprise.
That's right. He's a person who likes to help to get people socializing in around town. So this time we'd like to welcome Ed Driver to the Pace Radio Show. Hello, Ed. How are you?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me. I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great. And did you experience this nasty weather today?
Yeah, it was really weird. It was changed from hail to rain, and then it was a little bit of snow, and then back to hail, then it melted. It was really kind of weird driving in that.
I would imagine that I'm sure Kim will have a question along that line as we go to find out what do you do on a day like that when you have a tour. But I'll hand things over to Kim and let her get the questions rolling, and I'll just jump in as we go along.
Thanks so much, Al. That's awesome. Ed, we're Ed the Driver. We're calling you Ed Driver. Toronto Toke Tours is an establishment that you've started up down in Southern Ontario there. You have a couple of vehicles that people can choose from, and you take people on tour to see some sights, stop at lounges, do cannabis-related events. Wow. How did you come up with this, Ed?
I'll be totally honest. I was kind of following the cannabis industry over in Colorado, and the industry there is actually very, very mature now. And they have so much options there. They have lounges, they have licensed producers you can go visit. There's retail places where you can go and pick up stuff. So pretty much It's just tourism, except it's cannabis tourism. So that's pretty much where I got the main idea.
They swung the doors open down there, didn't they? They said, okay, you know what? If we're going to have legalization, then let's do this. Let's open it to tourism. I mean, they've got cafes, they've got massage therapy, they've got cooking classes, they've got, nightclubs and comedy clubs, host of things going on, right?
Yeah, they have everything. And there's also multiple tour companies as well. And also what I noticed too is when they first legalized it, like 4 years ago, the market wasn't very mature, but now there's a couple of tour companies that like their revenue is like, was it like $3-4 million, some of the top ones. So it's a really mature market now, and it's like an entire industry down there.
Excellent. I mean, with legalization happening in so sort of scattered in North America, especially, I mean, bringing people in from the United States into Canada, I think legalization is going to offer a boom for tourism for people that are canna tourists, aren't they?
Yeah, and I can check my numbers, but I'm pretty sure cannabis tourism in Colorado last year brought in like some stupid amount, like $200 million in tax revenue for the state, right? And also, I know they had a deficit, like a state deficit for like years and years and years. And then I think 2 or 3 years into legalization, they wiped out their entire state deficit. Like it's unreal how much money and how many jobs it creates, right? So it's a great economic boom for everyone. So,
well, for sure, people want to go where the cannabis is legal, right?
Yeah, totally. And also, like, I think too, it's like they just don't want to go to a park and like smoke up, right? Whatever, right? They want to like experience things and like have fun and kind of like do events, like something like, for example, like, we do that sushi and weed rolling thing, right? It could be like a private tour, or it could be like a date night, like, you and a friend, or whatever. You go, you kill 2 hours, learn how to roll like maki rolls and stuff, and then you drink a little bit, and then after that you learn how to like, these are for the rookies, right? Learn how to roll like a regular blunt and stuff, or a 1 gram joint, and then you get to enjoy it, right? So it's kind of like it turns into like a night out, like an event.
Yeah.
And there's interest in that. So
could the joint rolling, like you mentioned, for the rookies and stuff, but even people, like I've been smoking for years, you could get somebody who rolls, those fancy joints, the ones that are turned into characters or whatever.
Yeah, shaped like a pumpkin or a pineapple or a person.
Yeah.
And I'll be totally honest, I'm terrible at rolling joints. I'm the guy who, like, I'll bring the stuff, my friend rolls it, and I just smoke it. So I'm like that.
Hey,
I'm honest.
I always say it doesn't matter how it looks; it's how it performs and burns is the key, man. Yeah. Looks don't matter.
But I mean, cannabis has always been a very social thing. Anybody that's a consumer of cannabis, usually it's a social aspect of it. You do it. We're at get together at parties. We like to get together at lounges. Nobody really wants to just sit and smoke a joint by themselves. We look for a friend to invite. Usually, it's a very social thing. So cannabis and tourism and going to these kind of events, they just kind of fit.
And also, it's a type of person it attracts too, right? Because I've worked nightclubs when I was a little bit younger, and I tell you right now, like, I work clubs where there's a strong like cannabis crowd that shows up, and there's never any drama. Like at best, guys are like, oh, I lost my phone, or I'm hungry. Like those are kind of.
Yep. What do I do with this? I can't find it.
Where are my friends? They're right behind you. Like, oh, okay. But compared to like I've worked like like a heavy like alcohol club, and then there's always fights and stuff and whatever. Right. I worked some of the amphetamine kind of powered clubs, and it's a different vibe as well. But whenever I worked like a cannabis night, it was always like a chill night. People would be like offering me joints and stuff. They're super nice. They're just like hungry and like forgetful. Like
mellow.
Yeah, mellow. Yeah,
mellow. Nobody's looking for any confrontations there. That's for sure. Yeah, a very, very social aspect. So you were watching, the scene that's going down in Colorado and in California and stuff, and you thought, well, I should do this here. We do have in Toronto area, there was a large number of vapor lounges. I know some of them are gone now and adjusting, but the tourism part and the taking the bus to these places, I guess you're maintaining fairly steady business.
In the beginning, it's kind of slow, to be totally honest, because we don't have any retail spots yet, right? So the only way you can get stuff now is through the OCS in Ontario, right? And if you're a tourist, right, like you're really going to come here, and then order OCS online, and then wait a couple of days for it to get to you. Like,
yeah,
I think I think that's kind of killing it right now. But I think
it'll be better when you have a brick and mortar store. You can say, "Hey, I'm going to take you to the store."
And also, there's a legal aspect too, right? Because if you read the Patriot Act, right? If you're a U.S. tourist, right, and you pay for cannabis on your credit card, they can look through your credit card statements and they see like a cannabis charge go through. Like, they can get you for that. So that's why I think a retail storefront cash business is going to change the outlook and I guess the volume of people too. And also, it's wintertime. Who's going to come to? Well, I guess it'd be a few people, but you want to come to Toronto or Canada when it's a bit warmer. Like.
Yeah.
420 really kicks things off, right?
Yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, obviously I call it marijuana because in around that time is when the Lift Expo is going on, the Global Marijuana March is happening, and summer's coming on.
Yeah, yeah. 420 starts it all off, and then it's every week after that. There's an event in the city.
It's just
like you have like Caravana, you have you have the Pride Parade. There's so many events going on. Like there's like what's the other one? There's a food one. There's like Greek Fest and like all this other stuff going down. Like Little Italy. There's a Little Italy thing. Like there's so much things to do, right? Like in the summertime.
Yeah.
So then you're not just geared to strictly 420 associated events then.
It's 420 events as in like there's some type of like 420 involved, whether if it's vaping or smoking and such, right? Because it's not just like the sushi rolling. We also do like I partnered up with a yoga studio, and they do like Cannabis yoga, where you kind of like you do like a vape hit and then you do the yoga thing, and it's very mellow. Like I think yoga and vaping kind of goes really well because it kind of like you focus. It's very zen-like and like it's very relaxing. There's also a Cannabis comedy club I'm partnered with in Toronto. I didn't even know that we had a Cannabis comedy club. Also, what else is there? Cannabis club, yoga, and then
massage.
Yeah. Cannabis inspired massage, and also there's actually a brewery, a cannabis brewery that's actually got their license. It was I think Hill Street Beverages. They're actually going to offer cannabis or CBD infused wine and brewery, and we're also going to try to organize like a tour through their winery and the brewery. Kind of like you get to go in there, you get to sample some like cannabis beer or wine, and they'll take you on a tour, see how it's made. It's actually pretty cool stuff, and there's a lot of things that are going on, and a lot of changes happening right now. A lot of exciting stuff.
It'd be like going to a vineyard.
Yeah. I mean, you could open up this to almost anything, right?
Yeah, because there's so many options, and there's so many, like, Toronto is already a diverse city, right, with a lot of things to do, so this is just going to open everything up, so.
And now you offer two modes of transportation to choose from. You can have either a limo or a bus.
Yeah, party bus. So both you're allowed to smoke or consume on the party bus or the limo. It really depends on your size, like how big of a party you're with. We're also going to try to work on something where, a lot of people won't be going in groups of 5 or 10, right? So if you're a single tourist or like in doubles or triples, we'll try to do it also like, how they have the tour buses downtown where you kind of get on and you get to hang out with strangers. We'll probably offer a version of that too. But that's still in the works as well, because not everyone's going to show up in the big group, right? Some people just want to, get on and, hit some spots and enjoy the city, right? So
that's amazing. I love the incorporation of all of the different things. I'm just going through your website a little bit. The joint rolling class and sushi making / ramen mixing. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, and that's a perfect date night, like unit date go, you learn how to roll your own sushi roll or maki roll, because you can put like veggies or fish or whatever you're into. And then for ramen making too, it's cannabis infused ramen, so you can pick your own ingredients in your ramen is pretty much noodles, right?
Yeah.
So you put your own ingredients in there, blah blah blah. Someone will teach you how to do everything, and then you get to consume it as well, right? And then after your sushi rolling, what have you, there'll be like a person who'll teach you how to roll a joint if you don't know how to, and you get to roll it and then consume it afterwards, right? Not in the premise, unfortunately, but
come back out to the party bus.
Yeah, exactly. And and you get a bit of booze, you get a bit of food, you get to roll a joint, and
Yeah. What's the art of smoked food? I guess that's the way it's prepared.
Yeah, it's just a little flavor to the description there. And I made that up.
I like it.
What's smoked food?
Smoked food. That's great. That's absolutely fabulous. So you're open for business now. People can book you for tours and for different experiences right away.
Yes, we are. And we also do customized tours as well, because I understand that, not everyone is going to want to do the same thing, right? So, you get the standard packages, and also, I kind of like to do a survey as well. So when you get to meet people, you want to figure out what level of, are you like a rookie? Are you more seasoned? What do you want to do? Do you want to hang out in the lounge? Do you want to go shopping? There's so many options, and we customize everything for every group, right? Because not everyone would want the same thing,
Yeah, for sure. So now, did you partner up with the sushi making one? Is that at a restaurant, or where does that take place?
The restaurant's called Don Don Izakaya. It's right on a corner of Dundas and Bay. It's like it's a Japanese izakaya. So izakaya in Japanese, that's our version of a bar. So It's not like a Japanese restaurant where it's quiet and chill, right? It's very it's loud.
Lively.
There's there's music. When you walk in, they do this drum and stuff to welcome you. It's very cool. It's very
awesome.
Kind of party kind of vibe. And we've partnered with them, and when the nights we have those tours, we'll either book a private room or by the bar, and we'll invite everyone for the event, for that tour piece anyway. And then afterwards, if you still want to stick around, you can enjoy the food. They have great food, great drinks.
Excellent. And I guess it's the same idea with the massage and the yoga?
So I partnered up with a massage business, also the yoga studio. And again, you get to enjoy free, before the session starts. And then again, there's different options as well. And it's all on the website. So, yeah.
Is the massage, do you have a canna infused option? Just out of curiosity. I know I see you can vaporize before the massage.
Correct. As for if they're using cannabis or use oils, I'm not sure, but that's something we can.
Well, maybe it's this one, hot stone.
No, that is actually a massage. I've had a hot stone massage, and they are actually really, really nice. And they're literally stones, rocks that are smooth and heated, and then they put them on your body. Yeah. They're fantastic. But being stoned with a hot stone massage would absolutely enhance.
You'd be a great name. Hot stone massage, with a D. I think that'd be a great name.
Hot
stone. I'm going to steal that, Al. Is that okay?
Go right ahead.
Sure.
Yeah. That's not wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you guys are ever in Toronto, give me a shout, and we'll we'll hook something up for you. Show you guys a good time.
Cool.
Oh, awesome. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there that this could tie in with, right?
Yeah, totally. And also, I've partnered with some other.
Talk about the news. I was going to bring that in on the next segment. Sorry to cut you off, but
no problem.
Not until the next segment.
All right, then I've got a question for you. I'm assuming as of right now, all these things like the yoga, the cannabis massage, and there's the vaporizing beforehand, that's all in a BYOB, bring your own bud situation, right?
As of now, correct. And also, if there had if you need to pick up, I guess, before the tour happens, we can arrange for that as well. Because right now the options are pretty limited.
Yeah,
picking up your own stuff, right? So
I can see once the storefronts, the brick and mortar places open, I would imagine a stop or two would be included on some of your tours, depending on how long they are.
Yeah, I've actually partnered with a retail company. He's at Sticky Nugs, StickyNugsInc.com. So it's like STICKYNUGGZ Inc.com, and we actually we're partnered up, and he actually applied for a retail license, but unfortunately he didn't get one.
With the lottery.
Yeah, he wasn't one. He was one of those 1,675,000 people who didn't get one, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. But hopefully, when they open the floodgates in December, he's gonna convert his lounges into like an actual retail spot, and then we'll probably make a tour there, stop by, get your stuff, and then continue onwards, right? But until that happens, there's other retail guys, I guess, we'll partner up with and make a stop there beforehand, and then continue the tour.
Yeah, there are options in the city, that's for sure. I mean, this enterprise is exciting because there's so much opportunity for expansion and development as legalization loosens and the system grows.
Yeah, totally. It's a total growth industry.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff.
Because I would like to, you got to think about those people who are on that long waiting list. So you hope for a quick expansion.
Yeah, there was like thousands who applied or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think I had read 17,000, and they only gave out 25 licenses.
Yeah,
right?
and 20 are winners. I mean, you've got better odds on 649, I think.
Well, I see there was one announcement about a company that did partner up with somebody.
Yeah.
Like one of the winners.
One of the winners.
We discussed that in the Reefer Reporters.
Yeah, they're partnering up. But I mean, the people that were the winners of these lotteries, they're probably being hounded by bloodhounds at this point.
Well, I heard all of them got funding somehow. A lot of them were sole proprietorships, and I heard funding by franchising or some kind of agreement. All of them got funding.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's fighting at the bit to get in on this industry. I mean, it's only going to grow from here. And tourism, I think, especially in hubs like Toronto, and I'm hoping that it comes to smaller rural places like the north where I am. Tourism, I think, is going to be the big ticket out of all of it.
Millions of people are drawn to the city, and people come from all around the world to Toronto. And there's obviously a lot of places out there around the world where cannabis isn't legal yet, and they would just love the opportunity to be able to take a tour and to experience this.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're new to a city, you don't even know where to start. Where do you go? I don't know where lounges are. I don't know where the clubs are. I don't know where anything is. What's cannabis friendly and what's not? A guided tour? Perfect.
And also, I'm working on getting my website translated in different languages as well to make sure, if you have foreign tourists, that they kind of at least navigate the site, right? So
that's an excellent idea. Yeah.
Options open.
Yeah. I mean, expansion all the way. I have a gazillion questions for you that I want to get into when we get back from the break, because they're all on brand new subjects that are going to take some time.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go for break then. All right.
Yeah.
Ed, before we go in, as we go into the break, we play music, and I usually try to match the music up to our guests. And when I went looking for some bus music, I got all this pictures of little kid stuff. The wheel goes round and round, Yeah.
And
I just couldn't do that to you, okay?
All right.
So what I did instead, you were talking about Colorado, right?
Yeah.
And this inspired you. Well, instead of music, what I've done is I got a CBC report on the bus tour in Colorado.
There we go.
Let's do that. Let's go.
All right, so people are going to hear it throughout the show when we go for break. They'll hear like 30-second, 40-second segments, but they'll get some of that experience of what it's like to be on a bus, Cannabis. All right, okay. Okay, and then after the break, Kim and I will continue our talk with our guest, Ed Driver, and this is the Pace Radio Show. We are live here at 420radio.ca.
Hey, this is Cheech. And this is Chong. And you're listening to Lifestyle Radio. What is it? Lifestyle Radio. Say it one more time.
So,
420 Radio.
clear?
Ooh.
Yep.
Hang up and try again.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
It's been a year since the sun rose on a new era, as Colorado became the first jurisdiction in the world to allow the retail sales of marijuana to anyone aged 21 and over. Now, critics said the sky would fall and crime would rise and this state would never again be the same. So we've come here to see if Colorado has indeed gone to pot.
Legacy 420 has medicinal and recreational products down to a science, literally. With 2 biochemists on staff and a chief scientific advisor, every product is tested in the Legacy 420 laboratory. Legacy 420, Tyendinaga. Open 9 to 9 every day. Visit legacy420.com.
Are you looking for cannabis news, education, and people's opinions? Are you looking to learn what Canadian and international cannabis advocates are doing, not only now, but what got them to this point in their lives, and what does the future hold for them? Do you want to learn how patients are using cannabis as their daily medication, or learn how their cannabis use helps them with their medical condition? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I'm going to suggest to you to tune in to Lifestyle Radio. Catch their live weekly shows and have your questions and concerns answered and find the experience you're looking for. Monday, catch your weekly news broadcast with the Reef Reporters. Then on Wednesday, get several hours worth of cannabis public education. We get things started with Cannabis and Coffee with Marijuana. Finish up your evening with the award-winning Pace Radio Show with Al Graham, and no week would be complete without tuning into Friday night's program, the 420 Radio Show featuring Al Rapp and the 420 Radio crew, Mary Jane Baker and Marcel Gignac. Cannabis is a lifestyle, and you can catch all your cannabis lifestyle information right here at 420radio.ca. Tune in to DJ Passion from the land of Ganja, the island of Jamaica, when he comes to you live every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 420radio.ca.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Cannabis, your friendly neighborhood Campbellford head shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Let us help you grow your 4 with weekly Tuesday night gardening sessions for beginners. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Cannabis, more than just a head shop. 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Why not start our visit to Colorado on this marijuana tour?
All right, guys, I'm going around passing out joints. One of the fun things
where the sparks are flying. It's billed as an educational insight into the marijuana industry.
Anybody here, casual users? Keep in mind, this is the last disclaimer of the day. This is the last time I'm going to slow you down. From here on out, it's peer pressure, and we're going to be going, smoking.
Hey, hello, and welcome back. You're listening to the Pace Radio Show, and as always, we're live here at 420 Radio, and you can find us at the Pace website at pace-online.ca. Today on the program, we're joined by our guest, Ed Driver of the Toronto Toke Tours, as well as my joint host, Northern Ontario, Kim Cooper. Well, Kim, I know you're biting at the bit. You got a couple of new questions that you want to ask Ed to find out what all he's offering here. So I will let you ask him.
Yeah. We touched on, the joint rolling classes and the sushi and the yoga and the massage and everything. You do the Cannabis Comedy Club as well. You're expanding your horizons already, and there's word and has it that there's been some knocks at your door with some inquiries as of late for expansion.
Yeah. So I have a major national Canadian TV network going to do a special on me, I think on the 12th of February.
Nice.
So they're going to record on the 12th, and hopefully they'll edit everything and get it out that same week.
They're going to jump on the bus with you?
Kind of. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to they're going to kind of tag along on a tour, right? Kind of like the fly sitting on the wall type thing, right? It's because usually how TV goes is they'll shoot it for like 2 hours, right? But then they'll cut the entire event to 3-4 minutes, right? So at the end of it, it'll just kind of do highlights of what the event's going to be. And the reporter, when we were talking back and forth, she indicated she really liked that sushi joint rolling class. So I think they're going to try to focus on that more or less. But we're going to I'll try to make it so that it kind of captures the entire vibe of the tour. You know what I mean? So we'll try to make it as best quality as we can to show, what to expect, right? So that's very exciting. Hopefully it works out well for everyone. So.
Now, with being radio, this is going to be on a newscast on television, so we'll have the visual aspect. But here we're on radio. So I'm looking through some of the photos and the promos that are out for your company at the bus itself. Try and give our listenership a visual of what's going on here. It's basically a bus, but you've got seating sort of on both of the outsides with an aisleway going up the middle. Kind of looks like there's a pole in the middle, maybe for holding on to, maybe for dancing. I don't know. And some psychedelic lights and stuff going on. And it seems everybody's passing joints along the line there.
Yeah, so it's pretty much just it's a regular party bus. And the only difference is, you'll be able to consume. But for the event, for the media, I think they want the limo version of it. So it's going to be a little bit more high end, a little bit more relaxed. So pretty much it'll be the same aspect of the limo, just to be people in the limo consuming as well. Hopefully, and hopefully they'll let us film that, people consuming, because that's part of the tour, right?
Well, yeah. They better be consuming, but I don't want. I sometimes I don't like seeing is that they focus right on that sometimes, and it's nice to include it, but sometimes I just think it's overpushed. But yeah,
and I love limo. Hey, what girl doesn't love a limo ride? But if I'm partying and going to the comedy club and having fun and a night on the town and smoking joints with friends, and I want the bus.
But I'll be totally honest. When the reporter contacted me, I think she just really wants the limo. I gave her the option of both. But she's like, I think she just wants to kind of ride the limo. I think that's why she's like, can we get the limo? I'm like, whatever you want. I'm not gonna say no, right? So
right, that's right. Because you offer limos, you offer the party bus as well. Right? Now, Kim was describing the bus. Now, she described the inside, but is it on the outside? Is it a coach bus? Is it a school bus? Is it a mini short ass bus? Is it a full 70 passenger bus?
It's not the yellow short bus. No, it's gonna be like one of those those van size guys. It's gonna seat about 24 people. So it's not gonna be a yellow short bus. No.
No. Okay. Now, will your bus have I guess you still have to deal with legalities and all that. But once concentrates ever become available, if they ever become available, you could have e-nail stations.
Yeah, once edibles and other options kind of get on there, I'm sure we can improvise and add stuff.
Install a fridge.
Whatever works, man.
That's right.
Anything.
Yeah.
Email stations, that'd be very, very cool for sure. As a dab person here, I'm not one for, I don't smoke a lot of joints. Joints make me choke. I'm a dab girl through and through now. I have been for a while now. I gave up even doing bongs now. I used to stuff bong girl, but now I'm almost strictly dabs.
Because dab's more efficient. It's clean.
Yeah. Less coughing. Yeah, less coughing. So dab station would definitely be appealing for sure. Yeah, I mean, I love this idea. I'm in love with the pictures of the inside of the bus. Everybody looks like they're having a blast.
Did they give you any idea when this could air? As far as this thing that they're going to record?
Well, I'm guessing they'll probably shoot on the 12th, and then they got to sit there and edit out all the stuff they don't want, right? So I'm hoping it's the same week. So I'm expecting a little spike in interest after the 12th. So
maybe Valentine's Day.
That'd actually be really, really perfect, because then you get all the couples who are like, they want to do stuff like all the weed couples, right? Because then I'm 100% sure that there's a market for like couple events or like
weddings.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There's actually a company in Calgary that did a cannabis wedding. I forgot the name, but I can find it.
And there was recently a cannabis wedding expo as well.
Yeah. I think that was in
and
Calgary
I'm just thinking, like days like Valentine's Day, where it's two people. I mean, you could make it available. Say, here is where the meeting space is, and everybody gather there at this time, and you could have couples interacting with other couples and just fill up the bus.
Yeah, or do like a special, like on weekends or weekdays, have a discount night or something, like just to get people out and places,
Kim, maybe Steve wants to get romantic and take you out for Valentine's Day and rent this limo.
We'd have to drive 9 hours to get there.
You're 9 hours away? Oh.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. You can drive to Connecticut before you got to Kim's.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit too far. But when we do our yearly trips to Toronto. We come down 3 times a year throughout the event season, so to speak. I guess between April and October, I usually make about 3 trips down to the city, and we do my annual vape tour. And I've usually got between 8 and 10 tag-alongs that are with me every year, and we do a vape tour in Toronto. And I've been doing it for 3 years now, and as soon as I seen this, I thought, oh, now this is perfect, because we were always, like last year, we had 2 and 3 Ubers that we were calling at once, going from lounge to lounge to lounge.
Doesn't work.
Right?
Yeah.
And it just became
traffic
for a while. And I thought, oh, now this is perfect.
You get a little group and you kind of stay together and party together.
Well, we always have 8 to 10 of us, and we do this tour every year. And hey, we found a ride.
Yeah. Exactly.
Keep us in mind. Give me a call when you stop by.
Yeah,
we'll make it work.
Back, I don't know, around 2011, 2012, 2013. We called them vape tours, and we would go to Toronto, a few of us, and we would go to like 3 lounges in the city, and we were taking newbies, people who had never experienced those things. And sometimes we try to squeeze 4 lounges in. So yeah, there is interest in that for sure.
Yeah, every year we've got somebody that's never done it before. We've usually got 1 or 2, maybe 3 people that are every year they're with us. And then there's a handful of people who are like, they heard about it last year and they want to come. So we get newbies every single year, and it's always a blast. Yeah, for sure. I mean, now I've got you lined up for a ride. Life is good. Nobody has to drive.
What about Ed? What about going to out-of-town events? Say somebody wants to rent the bus to go to an event out of the city.
So another exciting bit of news. So currently in talks with a LP, one of the bigger LPs in Ontario, right? Like a licensed producer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if things get together, we'll be doing tours up to like an LP. You get to go there and see how LP runs and kind of hang out and maybe even buy stuff on discount, right? And also, I think we're going to try to do trips up to Hamilton. I know there's some events there sometime, and also Niagara Falls. So these are all options we're kind of looking into, right? Because it's going to change, and we have to evolve and match the change, right? So,
making a suggestion to you: go the other way, go east, go out to Belleville.
Yeah. Oh, Belleville, yeah.
Indanaga territory, native land. They've got dispensaries operating right there.
Yeah,
right?
You could do it. Yeah, you could do a tour from Toronto to Tioga where they got 40 or 50 dispensaries, and they got the largest one. I would say the largest First Nation dispensary in Canada, and they're actually a sponsor here of the Pace Radio Show. So, shout out to Legacy 420. They are in a position right now where I would shake my head if they were turned down for a licensed producer because of the facility that they've got there, and they're offering from testing, they're producing products from beverages to they got the whole process. It's all there.
Yeah, I mean, you really got to look up that should be added into your tour. Talk to Legacy
for sure.
They've got everything from scientists going on. They grow their own. It's farm to table. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll grab that info before the call-ins, or maybe afterwards.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
sounds
sure.
good.
We'll talk more about that later. But this is very interesting stuff, that this LP development. Now, I don't know if you want to name them or not. I'll leave that up to you.
No, because it's just talks right now. Nothing
right on.
concrete.
Cool. So did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them?
I'm gonna be totally honest. I went on the main website and I emailed every single LP that's registered in Ontario, and I just spammed, and I just sent email after email after email, phone calls, Twitter. I just stalked everyone down, and then a couple.
Here's what I'm doing. Don't you want a piece of it?
and one or two kind of came back, so we're kind of working with both, and hopefully see what, if we can do something, we can make it work, right? So.
That would be fantastic. I mean, they'd be crazy not to get on board with something. They've got to know that cannabis tourism is going to be the biggest thing that develops, I think, economically out of all of this, outside taxes, outside all of it. I think the tourism aspect is the big winner here.
And if you think about it, I'm literally bringing busloads of people to them every month, every day, right?
Correct.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, and also
exactly.
Also, advertising restrictions. LPs can't advertise; they can't have their logos and stuff, right? So, this is kind of a perfect passive way to get their name out and get their brand out, right? Because even though we know who the LPs are, the average Joe doesn't know who the big companies are, right? Because they don't know, right? So,
there's 125 now. I've lost count.
300 plus, I think, in Ontario. Some stupid amount. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not all authorized to produce and sell as of yet, but they're licensed at this point.
Or they're pending, or some kind of fake. Yeah.
They're in that 2-year phase where they're waiting for final approvals.
They should just skip all of that and say, okay, you know what? Just give me $4 million. Here's your paper. Because that's what it is. I mean, it's the same as the graduated licensing for your driver's license. It comes down to money. You only have graduated licensing now because they can charge you more.
Mm-hmm.
It's a payment every time, right?
money grab and taxes.
Yeah.
It's all part of it. But but there's more and more. Like yourself, you're offering this type of service. You're connected to these different types of businesses. So it's the cannabis industry, different parts of it is all growing, and the more exposures for events like things like yourselves, the better it is for everybody.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the expansion. My wheels are just spinning on stuff that could be added to this. I mean, the list really is indefinite.
That's why I asked about the out of town stuff.
Yeah.
You mentioned the LP, and is there other is there cannabis events out of Toronto that you could attend to and
are you
take a bus?
Are you looking at there's the Indigenous Cannabis Cup is happening in Tyendinaga, and I think there's
cool.
a yoga retreats happen out by Niagara Falls. Are you going to be looking at any of that kind of stuff?
Niagara Falls, yes, but I never thought about the Indigenous part. That's a new idea.
Yeah.
I even thought about in Ontario. What's that town? I forgot the name. They have the racetrack up there.
Racetrack. Well, Shannonville has a racetrack.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So
that's Tyendinaga.
That's the same area.
Yeah. They're
okay.
They're next door to each other.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, because
they blend together.
I remember going up there, because they used to have like weekend warrior things where you kind of go up and you do that, like you go down the fast track, what have you, right? So I'm pretty sure
they have drag racing there and everything. Yeah, the motorcycles. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that'd be a cool event too, right? So
sure would. Yes.
There's a lot on the table right now. So
super bike races were all held there.
Yeah. Very cool stuff.
For sure. What about we don't know how things are going to happen this year when it comes to 420s and the global marijuana marches and stuff. But I know in the past, at one time there was very few 420s, and everybody was heading. You talked about Niagara, and everybody was heading to the Niagara 420 at Clifton Hill. Yep. And one year, 4 buses pulled in and unloaded people.
Yeah.
So, So, I don't know whether you thought about going to 420 rallies, but, that's, there is a history of it. Bus loads of people going to them.
Yeah, and then there's just a lot of, there's just so much right now, and everything on the go, and everything's changing, because they keep changing the rules on us, too, so it's kind of like, we don't even know, right? It's very...
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like going to these rallies, but transportation is often an issue. We've seen that in the past, too, with people that have just rented buses and said, okay, you know what, I'm renting a bus, $40 a head. We meet here, everybody get on the bloody bus, and we're going to go. And making a consumption-friendly space during the trip would be that much more appealing, right?
Yeah, and the difference is you'd be going with, a professional company, friends, and everyone's the same wavelength, right? So
I remember getting on a bus and jumped on a bus at a stop on the 401. I got off the 401 and at a gas station. And I jumped on the bus and we went up to the Supreme Court of Canada case with Owen Smith. On the bus, Cannabis in Canada.
Yeah, that's when they did that whole bus thing, right? And they got everybody and everything for the night. I went. We met at that. Actually, Al, that's another place that we.
That's probably.
We met there too, and we didn't know each other then.
No.
But we were both there, and I've got pictures of you, and you've probably got some of me in the crowd from off of your rolls of film as well. But we were all there, and I had rented a hotel room with a bunch of girls. Debbie was there, but she came late because of the snowstorm. Debbie Seltzman.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that exactly.
So, and we all shared a hotel room across from the port.
Bus companies, I see you offer the tour, and you'd probably have places you would go to and stuff like that. Now I'm talking about out of city. I guess I don't know. As you maybe expand future plans, some buses offer overnight type trips. I don't know.
I never thought about that, but that could be an option if there's a demand. Because again, you gotta be changing in this industry, right? Because a lot's going to change a year from now, 6 months from now, So
for example, say there's a big expo going on in just over the border at Windsor there. For example, they used to have one at Ypsilanti. In Michigan, anyway. It's a little city. It was just over the border, and they used to they had an expo there years ago. I guess you got the federal laws there.
Border crossing's not a good idea in Cannabis now.
Especially if it's a bus full of stoners with a big sign saying Toronto Toke Tours. The border guys would be like, okay, we're pulling over these guys.
We're not getting in.
You guys are all going back home. That wasn't a good idea. No, that wasn't a good idea at all. No. But you could do, maybe go to something in Quebec or,
Yeah, there's plenty to do right here in good old
Ontario, I know.
Good old Ontario, too, that's for sure. But there's tons out there that this could evolve into. Now, currently, you're open for operations, like people who wanted to do this now, they could. Is there hours of operations? Is it only, on weekends? Is it only in the evening? What's the deal with that?
To be honest, we try to like fit in everyone's schedule. So just like if someone's on here for a weekday, like Monday, Tuesday or something, right? We try to accommodate everyone as best we can, right? And not everyone's going to want a tour bus or limo, because sometimes, because there's a lot of options downtown Toronto. Some people might just want like a tour guide and like a walking tour. Maybe just like, something more low key, right? Because downtown Toronto, you have like, I think, there's 2 lounges, head shops, a comedy shop, Cannabis comedy place, all within like walking or TTC distance, right?
Yeah.
Trying to keep all the options open, right? Because if you don't need to take a bus or limo, like save your money for, fun times, So,
For sure. So there's other options available besides that, and walking tours are also available. That's excellent. Now, you mentioned the comedy club a couple of times. Which one? Which comedy club is it?
Let me just grab that in for 1 second. It's the one on downtown by, I think there's 2, but the one I'm with, 1 second.
That's
Oh, good. I see. I fire these questions at you. And you're not ready yet. I'm just
found it. It's Puff Mama.
Puff Mama.
Yeah.
We know Joey.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, nice, cozy. It's the setting and atmosphere was. I've always felt comfortable.
Yeah,
in there. Yeah.
Yeah,
and the comedians have been great. She's had some fantastic comedians.
Oh yeah, and Joey is funny too. I mean, Joanne is hilarious as well, as an MC, bringing them all in, and she does her own bits every once in a while too. I've had a great time every time I've gone there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's a great place for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then you got Planet Paradise right up the street.
Yeah. And also too, like before I even like started this, when I was doing my research, right, I was actually kind of shocked on how many cannabis-related events there is in Toronto. Right, there's actually a plethora. Like, I'm just constantly like amazed, right? So
from during event season, 1 a week at least.
Every weekend, something going on. Caravana, Pride. You have like food festivals and stuff. You have Rip Fest. Like, there's everything, right?
Yeah, and there's always. Different kinds of like green markets where cannabis-friendly farmers markets are popping up all over the place, and they're usually last-minute pop-up, no announcement about it. It's just boom, here we are, come and get it, and they're always a lot of fun too.
And my thing too is like once edibles become normalized, I think that's going to open an entire new genre of stuff, right? Like,
oh yes.
Rolling out with legalization, I mean, this is an evolving situation in Canada for sure. Getting in on the bottom floor like this with a tourism enterprise, I mean, you can grow with it.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is building relationships, right? Because you get your name out there and you get involved with people and stuff, and you build those strong relationships, and then you just grow them later on, right?
Yeah,
that's
the new businesses are opening. You're there to welcome them to the scene.
Yeah, and it's like the best thing is I try to partner up with businesses who are related, but they're not competing, so that way they don't kind of screw each other over, So that way it works for everybody. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, try to work with everybody. That's the goal, for sure.
For sure.
We got 2 minutes till we go for break, Kim.
We're almost into break. I've got another subject that I want to get into when we come out. I'm not going to do that till we come back because it's another long one.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
For sure. So evolving and everything.
Okay. Well, I got one question for him. Use up 2 minutes. Okay. Now, I see on here you provide a delivery service?
That's still kind of in the works because the next kind of, I think, genre or the next area that's going to open up is, how you have like Uber and Uber Eats and stuff, right? I think the next logical step would be cannabis delivery, right? And there's a bunch of companies now that are kind of like they're involved there. I can't really say the name, but it's. Remember how the OCS said instead of doing 3-day delivery, they want to do 1 day delivery?
Right. Correct. We covered that. Yeah.
I'm like the people I'm kind of talking to right now. I think they have that contract out where they can do that instant 1 day delivery, right?
Right.
So hopefully that pans out. That's something we can discuss later on, right? So
add
it to your list of services.
Yeah, that's the next logical step, because people don't want to wait, 3 days. They want.
I see here, not only cannabis, papers, bongs, stuff like that.
Yeah, because again, I partnered with a partner of mine, StickyNugsInc.com. I'll give you the details fully after. He does all that stuff. He'll do like paraphernalia, bongs, vapes, papers, grinders, all that stuff.
All of your needs.
Yeah, and it'll be delivered to your hotel room or your house or whatever, or a bucket full of lighters, whatever you need, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Excellent.
That's right. It's needed stuff. That's for sure. There's nothing like getting a joint ready and not having a lighter in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's because Al stole them all. That's why.
No, I didn't.
It's good for business. It's fine.
Temporarily borrowed it.
Just because it's been a while since I bought one. Come on now. All right, guys. It's break time.
Okay.
All right. So our listeners are going to hear some more of that Mark Kelly report from CBC on the Colorado bus tour. And when we return, Kim and I will continue our conversation with Ed Driver. If you're listening to the Pace Radio Show, we are live here at 420radio.ca.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
There isn't an empty seat on Mike Eimer's bus.
First thing you're going to see is called the Green Mile.
Customers range in age from 21 to 81. The tour includes a visit to a grow-up, where people can get a closer look at Colorado's newest cash crop. Then it's back on the bus.
All right, that is some good shit in there. You guys are going to want that.
To sample. If this is indeed a grand social experiment, then these lab rats are leaving happy.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Cannabis, your friendly neighborhood Campbellford head shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Let us help you grow your 4 with weekly Tuesday night gardening sessions for beginners. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. Cannabis, more than just a head shop. 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you looking for cannabis news, education, and people's opinions? Are you looking to learn what Canadian and international cannabis advocates are doing, not only now, but what got them to this point in their lives, and what does the future hold for them? Do you want to learn how patients are using cannabis as their daily medication, or learn how their cannabis use helps them with their medical condition? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I'm going to suggest to you to tune in to Lifestyle Radio. Catch their live weekly shows and have your questions and concerns answered and find the experience you're looking for. Monday, catch your weekly news broadcast with the Reef Reporters. Then on Wednesday, get several hours worth of cannabis public education. We get things started with Cannabis and Coffee with Tamarijuana. Finish up your evening with the award-winning Pace Radio Show with Al Graham, and no week would be complete without tuning into Friday night's program, the 420 Radio Show featuring Al Rapp and the 420 Radio crew, Mary Jane Baker and Marcel Gignac. Cannabis is a lifestyle, and you can catch all your cannabis lifestyle information right here at 420radio.ca. Tune in to DJ Passion from the land of Ganja, the island of Jamaica, when he comes to you live every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 420radio.ca.
Legacy 420 has medicinal and recreational products down to a science, literally. With 2 biochemists on staff and a chief scientific advisor, every product is tested in the Legacy 420 laboratory. Legacy 420, Tyendinaga. Open 9 to 9 every day. Visit legacy420.com.
Just how high are you guys right now?
Like in terms of like 3/4 or like 5/4?
5/4.
I would just say all the way.
I think that means a lot. This interview probably would have been easier about an hour ago.
Tourism is up in Colorado, and while no one suggests it's because of legalization, it surely isn't hurting business here.
The legalization for me as a small business owner allowed me to reinvent in a very, very positive way. It's giving me a career in the industry that I have always wanted to be in. So it's been great.
Hey, we're back. Thanks for tuning into the program.
Legacy 420 has medicinal and recreational products down to a science. Literally. With 2 biochemists on staff and a chief scientific advisor, every product is tested in the Legacy 420 laboratory. Legacy 420, Tyendinaga. Open 9 to 9 every day. Visit legacy420.com.
So what are you doing? Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.